everyone, I have a quick reading for you guys today by yours truly, your hostess, Sunny. I think that's how you're supposed to say hostess, right? I wanted to say the hostess with the mostest. I am not the hostess with the mostest, by the way, but it's funny to think about that. So I have 3 piles for you guys to choose from. So this is going to be a variation of some of the crush readings I have, since I'm also kind of interested in doing these types of readings. But the question for today is going to be, if you already read the title, then you know. But if you need the reassuring and refreshing, the title is going to be, the question, sorry. It's going to be, since you probably have a crush on a YouTuber, what's kind of going on in their field? You know, if you're kind of just being nosy, I might do another one like this again, but you know, I kind of have to rephrase it a bit, but that's more or less the energy that I want to go through, right? So I have 3 piles from left to right, pile 1, 2, and 3. So stop the video if you feel like you need more time to contemplate on the energies, on the YouTuber's energies. And remember, it's just something kind of quick, not something I'm going to go too much in detail, but you know, you get the gist. So first and foremost, I have pile number 1. So pile 1, think of your YouTuber crush, female or male, and they have the world upright. So good for them. They have a pretty positive card, if I may say so. They might feel very like up, not up in the air, but like having fun. I think they're kind of up and about. Likely they could be traveling, but again, I think a lot of YouTubers travel. Now that I think about it, I never actually quite sat down to think about, regardless of who they are, they tend to be kind of people who always travel. Like, they're either traveling for vlogs or traveling to work. It's just travel. So I think this person might be traveling. They're probably international, or at least traveling internationally. They're traveling to many exotic places, I feel. Sorry. I wanted to cough and sneeze and sorry. I don't like that feeling of having 2 things at the same time. Combining that reaction is weird. But I do think this person is very aware that they're discovering and exploring different cultures and ethnicities and philosophies, and they love it. I feel that it makes them feel alive. I think they're someone that's mature. They're gaining a lot of wisdom in this moment, and I do think they're kind of interested in getting to know where they kind of go and seeing where they kind of get pushed into. I think they're enjoying themselves. They're in a very good position in their life right now to kind of explore, and they're getting to kind of mature. I feel they're maturing as they kind of explore the world. They're someone that likes to be taught by the world. So good for them, but that's how they encompass themselves. So right now in this moment, they're kind of having a high, so good for them. They deserve it. I feel they've kind of been maybe cocooned themselves for a bit previously, so they're kind of getting to kind of feel that travel bug. And it seems like they might be juggling a bit of things, but they have a lot of motivation. There's a lot of fun, vibrance coming from here, and I think they might, you know, for some reason, I think they're kind of doing things that kind of are leveling them up in some aspect, whether they're doing maybe like charity things or planning to, or like events that they could do. It feels like they're kind of stepping up to something that they're interested in to kind of discover themselves a little bit more and develop their nature. For some reason, I think for some reason, maybe they're graduating for something soon, or they're kind of getting an award. There's something about like they could be receiving an award soon, so kudos to them. But yeah, again, they're feeling the high pretty good, if I may say. So good for them. But yeah, very like happy and very not tunnel vision, but it's someone that kind of sees things and they kind of go for it. They have a lot of fiery energy in them. Very worldly people. But again, yeah, I do think they're kind of traveling, or at least that's in the books right now of what they want to do and pursue. So I hope that helped with that. I hope that kind of matches up with the things that you're hearing from this YouTuber. So next, I have pile number 2. So pile number 2. The energies within your crush, you have, well, your YouTuber crush, I didn't even finish that. You have the strength card reversed. So I think this person is one hiding their emotions, or at least learning to let go. Of putting up this, not facade, but this like front. There you go. They're not putting up a facade. They're putting up this front to like, I'm very protective of that inner space, that inner soft, gushy mushy space. And of course, it's understandable within this realm of public space. You kind of have to be protective. You kind of have to be protective of certain areas in your life, because it can get out of hand and people can kind of tear that apart. And again, I think people need to respect people's boundaries of what they want to be showing into the world and what needs to be private, because every person has different things. And again, I understand that. So they're learning to kind of be more vulnerable about that, learning to be like, hey, this is the things that makes me feel insecure. Maybe there are things that require them to let people know, or at least let themselves know, because I do feel that there's someone who's kind of letting themselves feel things, at least, or at least experience that space of like the rawness. They have to be raw with themselves, and they have to be understanding that, hey, this is something that really matters to me. Why are you not protecting it, or why are you hiding it? It just feels like there's someone that has to kind of be realistic with what they want and be vulnerable, and it's scary. It's very scary. It takes a lot of strength to begin with. Inner strength is hard to achieve because it takes a lot more effort to kind of get that voluntary movement out of you. It's like, I'm very protective. I don't want to let go. And suddenly, like, they let go of the lion. They let go of that monster. Not in a negative way, but it just feels like they have to kind of let those emotions out. So they're kind of feeling themselves. They're in a space of, like, not being emo. They're just feeling themselves and their emotions. They're kind of navigating these energies. And I do think that they do their best that they can. And people need to understand that there's some karmic cycles that they kind of need to break, and that's why they have to be raw with themselves. They have such a loving soul. They're very protective, but finally they need to be less protective of that heart, because they could heal people. I feel like they have so much to offer, but they don't know how that would affect people positively. It's like, I want to share this with you, but I feel like I want to help you understand yourself and allow myself to kind of heal in the process. You know, it's like they want to help you and they want to test the waters, but they kind of navigate it slowly and cautiously. They're very cautious of what they show and express publicly, and I feel that they're kind of usually private about it, but they're kind of letting go. I feel like they're kind of letting go, or at least being more introverted about that in this moment. It could be either way. Read this as you will for each person, but I do think this person's kind of learning to be either one, a little bit more raw and realistic with themselves, and vulnerable and honest. Honesty comes a long way here. So coming to terms with the fact that they have to be honest with their emotions is not something easy for this person. So they're kind of getting that courage. I think of the Wizard of Oz with this every time I see it. The lion. I wanted to say if I only had a heart. I just remember the Scarecrow song, but I think of the lion who's scared of life, scared of everything. The scaredy lion. So let me take a sip of water before I go. On, sorry, because I start hearing myself and it bothers me. But yes, I think this person's getting the courage to be honest and vulnerable with their channel, maybe with their emotions, with where they're headed. And it's going to be applauded, I think. They're going to be celebrated. They're going to be feeling that empathy from others and sympathy, and they'll feel that compassion. I feel they're very compassionate people, and they're finally getting to receive that back. So that's more or less what's going on with this YouTuber's life. I'm sorry, pile 3. I feel the scratchiness and it starts hurting. I'm sorry for the sound. Pile number 3. I'll make sure to make note of that so it skips out. Pile number 3, what's going on with your YouTuber's crush right now? They have the 8 of Wands upright, so they're on the go, go, go in this moment. Pile number 3, I think they have a lot of stamina right now, so they have a lot of energy to do a lot of projects right now. So I think they're going to be starting new projects in this moment. Likely, I feel that maybe because of the I got stumbled with my words. Okay, the seasons are right around the corner, so they might have a lot of more job opportunities or work environment things that kind of work in their favor, where they could get I just feel like, even though this isn't pentacle energy, I feel that there's an increase in their income later down in a few months. But I do think that right now they're having this motivation to continue their projects. I feel that somehow there's a lot of cool projects coming in and they're very excited. So great for them if they have the energy and stamina to do these things. And that's what's kind of given in this sorry, I didn't want to in this energy with them. I do think there's someone who is very tunnel vision. So maybe they're kind of wanting to kind of do something big, or at least spread themselves maybe almost too thin, but they just have this, like, the physical strength to do that, the mental strength. It's like somehow I feel they revamped themselves, and maybe they were kind of still quiet, like still, what did I want to say, quiet, they were kind of still, not that they weren't present, but somehow they were kind of being calm. And it's like suddenly they just burst into the scene, like, hey guys, I have this really cool project. So that's what I feel for this pile specifically. So I do think this person is kind of coming full force when sorry, I didn't want to do that. When you weren't hearing much from them, or there wasn't much activity from them. Maybe they took vacation off and they suddenly come back. They suddenly I'm sorry, pile 3. Maybe they suddenly came back from vacation, and maybe they were, example, like sick. That could be one way. Or maybe they just wanted to take some family time off, and they wanted to visit family, hang out with friends, travel. Oh my sorry, my throat's just so maybe that's why they kind of went MIA for a while, and then suddenly they came back with like whole new vibe, revamped. It feels like the Energizer Bunny, so good for them. I do think they have a lot of I'm sorry. They have so much strength in like their mental space and their physical space, their spiritual. It's like they're counting, like they're going down the list, like, okay, crossing this off, crossing this off, crossing the next thing, next one. It's like, there, boom, getting this out of the way, because I came back with a relaxed mindset. And I think they're at the speed. It's like, I think of Lightning McQueen, the Energizer Bunny with this. It's like, wow, they're so chaotically fun. I know this isn't Aries, but it kind of gives me Aries energy. So yeah, they're very in touch with maybe like the more like masculine side of like going, but not toxic. It's just, it feels like someone who has so much strength and stamina. They're coming in fast. I do think they have a lot of good projects for them, so good for them. That's more or less the energy that's coming out from them. But yeah, I think they're advancing themselves to higher positions maybe. So with these creative projects that are coming up for them, I do feel like they're coming in with more opportunities to kind of expand themselves on their channels. So good for them. That's what I feel. So kudos to them, because I do think they kind of had this moment of like, hey, I need to relax a bit and take some time off before I kind of go for full force into this next thing. So good for them. So I do think you're going to be seeing them more of them during the holidays. So if that makes you happy, that's how you'll see them more often. But yeah, this YouTuber's going great. They have good speed. It's like, wow. They were suddenly like last position, and suddenly they kind of caught up to everybody in the race, and it's like, hey, I'm back. But you don't really feel the difference because it feels like they didn't really take that time off, so good for them. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. It helps me out with my channel. And I'll see you soon, and have a lovely day, everybody. So bye.